If you think you've seen it all, well, think again. In a world of 7.7 billion people, you better believe there are some rare individuals out there. Grab your coffees, cheers. Today, we're gonna look at 6 rarest people you won't believe exist. As always, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button and let's get right into this. Number 6. Muhammad Abul Bazadar, the Tree Man. Muhammad has an extremely rare condition called epidermal dysplasia verruciformis, which causes his hands and feet to look like they're tree barks. Only less than 200 people in the world have ever reported to have this problem, and for him, it all started when he was 13 years old. He noticed that a small wart appeared on his hand, and as he got older, that wart spread and grew rapidly to what it is today. He's tried traditional medicine, but none of that's worked, and he's even had a bunch of operations to reduce the size of them. However, each time they did a procedure, it all just came back. His only hope is to travel to a doctor outside of the country in order to find a permanent solution. And unfortunately, that's easier said than done because his financial situation isn't the greatest. So as of now, he's stuck like this. Number 5. Abby and Brittany Hensel. You know, in the conjoined twins world, we're used to seeing 2 heads and 2 bodies in some way attached to each other. At least that's what I'm used to seeing. But what makes their condition so rare is that they have 2 heads and just 1 body. Abby controls the right side and Brittany controls the left, meaning it took a lot of work for these two to coordinate everything they do in life. Now, you'd also be surprised to know that even though they share 1 body, they each have their own separate organs. They have 2 hearts, 2 stomachs, and 4 lungs. However, they do share a liver, large intestine, and the same reproductive system. From a young age, the two learn to work together in order to get things done, from learning to crawl, walk, and now even drive. And in case you're wondering what they do for work, well, Brittany and Abby teach math in elementary school. But my only problem with this is that apparently they only get 1 paycheck. Listen, call me crazy, but to me that's kind of a ripoff. At the end of the day, they may be attached to each other, but they're 2 separate people, they have 2 separate minds, and they're each putting in that effort. So I think they both deserve a separate paycheck. But let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. Number 4. Chandra Bahadur Dangi, the shortest man in history. Chandra has a height of 54.6 centimeters or 21.5 inches. And in 2012, at the age of 72, he was recognized by the world's Guinness record for being the shortest man in the world. Now, Chandra lived in a remote village in Nepal, and the place was so isolated that not too many people knew of his existence. However, that all changed one day when a forest contractor noticed him while he was cutting timber in that area. And after being discovered and rising into fame and popularity, Chandra was finally able to live his dream of traveling the world. Number 3. Muhammad Chand, the man with elephant legs. In the year 2000, Muhammad noticed his legs were slowly getting bigger and bigger. Not knowing what was happening, 3 years passed by until he was diagnosed with something called filariasis. This is a disease which caused his legs to swell up massively, similar to ones of an elephant. However, as his condition became worse, his wife and kids ended up leaving him. So, being all alone, tasks like walking, getting dressed, and cooking became extremely difficult for Muhammad. Now, this isn't some type of 1 in a billion type disease. Any one of us can get it. And you know those mosquito bites? Well, they're the biggest culprits. And that's because in tropical parts of the world, the bites from those mosquitoes can transmit thread-like parasitic worms into us. And just like that, we become a victim of this disease. But as for our friend, he's working day and night as a rickshaw driver in order to be able to afford an expensive surgery to reduce the size of his legs, and hopes one day he can feel normal again. Number 2. Natasha Demkina, the woman with X-ray vision. Hey, look me in the eyes right now. If you say you've never wanted X-ray vision when you were younger, I call pure cap. We've all wanted it. Anyways, in the case of Natasha, apparently she has just that. This woman can make a medical diagnosis by using her powers to look inside the body and see tissues and organs. This all started at the age of 10. One day while she was chilling with her mom, she had a vision and all of a sudden, she could see all of her organs. As time went on, Natasha began to control her powers better and actually had a switch going from normal vision to X-ray vision. This sort of thing caught the attention of experts, while many people naturally doubted her gift and called it a hoax. She went around and gave demonstrations of her unique abilities to different parts of the world. Natasha was able to identify people with cancer, gallbladder issues, broken bones, fractures, and many more. In fact, in Japan, she gave an accurate diagnosis of 7 out of 7 patients. Now, she's not right 100% of the time, but I say whatever she has is still pretty impressive. Number 1. Bill Dirks. Bill had 2 split noses, a deep indentation between his eyes, and a cleft lip. Having a cleft lip is a pretty common birth defect, but the only difference here is that his entire face was cleft. This condition was called frontal nasal dysplasia, which gave him the appearance of having 2 faces. And because of that, his parents were embarrassed of his condition, to the point where they kept him at home away from public schools. That was until one day when the carnival came to town, they happened to see Bill and immediately knew he was the perfect sideshow performer for them. So naturally, he was offered to join, and for him this was a no-brainer, cause he could make much more money traveling and performing than working his life away at the farm. As his popularity grew, he became known as the Two-Faced Man, and would often paint a third eye between his actual eyes for a more interesting effect. This would help him earn $100 a week back in the 1960s, which is equivalent to $800 a week in today's money. On top of that, Bill would receive a lot of cash bonuses, so he did pretty well for himself up until his passing in 1975. Well, there was a little bit of everything in this video. Now, if you made it to the end, then leave an animal emoji in the comment sections below so I know what kind of legends you are, and also because I love knowing who's actually watching and vibing with my videos. Anyways, smash that like button and subscribe button for a lot more content like this, and I'll see you guys next Saturday.